My name is John Lafferty, and this is my electronic poster on personality and basically how to measure it. So, what is personality? Well, depends on who you ask, and you'll probably get a different answer from everybody. So, personality is basically a set of behaviors, emotional patterns, traits, character traits that kind of dictate how an individual um, views their environment and interacts with their environment. So there's basically motivation, psychological interactions that all kind of defines what a person's personality is. So I actually chose to talk about what's the textbook refers to as the MMPI test. So there's a lot of different variations of it now. When it started out, it was basically like a 10 scale personality assessment, and now there's like over 50 scales. With the civil rights movement, they've changed it to be more susceptible to men and women. I've taken the test unbeknownst to me by getting a job, in an interview. Some of the interviewers will ask questions that you would find on an MMPI test or assessment. It basically kind of goes through and it's it it asks you questions. If you look at my slide, you can see, questions like, I have a good appetite. So there's a short form and a long form, but it's basically an assessment that can tell if you're lying too. So you can go through and do this personality assessment, and if you say something like, I never get angry, I never have sad feelings, it knows that the social norm is for people to be sad and have anger feelings, and it can tell, it basically tests the validity of what you're saying, if you're trying to just look good to get a job, if you're actually being truthful. So it's actually a great way to test somebody's personality and see what they're really like. Their desires, their tendencies, if they're an introvert or an extrovert. It will assess their work attributes, if they're going to, blame problems on people that they work with, or if they're going to take responsibility for something that was their responsibility. Family problems, anger issues, irritability. So it was originally formed for just like emotional disorders, to see what kind of emotional disorders people had. And it's evolved over the years to be a good indicator of personality traits, and the gender differences that result in those personality traits. So, um, you know, there's actually a link to it in my sources if you want to go take the test yourself and kind of see what it says about yourself. It's an interesting thing to do. I think everybody should do it at least once in their life to see what their personality is. They might not even know. So, thanks.